Prime Minister Lawrence Wong says the government will continue improving and enhancing the Central Provident Fund scheme very carefully to ensure it boosts retirement adequacy for Singaporeans. In an interview with Chinese local daily Lianhe Zaobao to mark 70 years of CPF, he says this will be done in consultation with Singaporeans. Mr. Wong adds that the government is also studying the idea of an opt-in retirement investment scheme. Jeraldine Yap with more.
The Central Provident Fund was created in 1955 as Singapore's unique pension system, with the government providing guaranteed risk-free interest rates on these savings. Over the years, the system has evolved, for example, by allowing members to use their CPF to buy a house. Prime Minister Lawrence Wong says it's now a critical pillar in Singapore's social safety net.
The CPF system we have today is the result of continual enhancements. If we had taken the mindset cannot change the CPF system at all, everything must be static, we will not have the CPF system today. I think there will be new needs going out into the future. There will be more demands that Singaporeans may have. There may be longer lifespans which we have to cater to. So each time we consider a change, we will think through very carefully. If there is some impact, we can do things like phase out the change.
Mr. Wong says he understands that some Singaporeans may want more flexibility in using their hard-earned savings. But he says a balance needs to be struck between that and ensuring people will have enough money for retirement.
If you believe that you can invest your CPF monies in a way that earns more than the government risk-free return, you are free to do so. And we provide, for example, some allowance to use CPF for housing, even for your children's education. So there are some flexibilities provided, but we have to manage the amount of flexibility given. Ultimately, we are trying to design a system that can cater to the diverse needs of Singaporeans, but would also serve the long-term interests of Singapore and Singaporeans.
Mr. Wong adds that the government has been thinking about whether it can offer a retirement investment scheme for Singaporeans to pick their own stocks or invest in a fund that is properly managed. But such a scheme will have to be carefully designed.
The challenge is, can such a fund produce returns that are better than the very generous risk-free guaranteed return that the government already provides? And will it still have some volatility which will expose CPF members to financial market risk, especially when they retire? And this is quite a complex situation, because each time we look at it, we are not very sure that we can design such a product that will provide certainty of greater returns while minimizing the risk to Singaporeans.
Apart from ensuring people have enough savings for retirement, Mr. Wong says Singaporeans have to be prepared to stay employed and work longer due to longer lifespans.
We also know that it's not easy for people, for older workers, to stay employed. And so we are not leaving Singaporeans to fend for themselves. It's one major reason why we are investing so much in skills future. We want to make sure that we continue to reskill and upskill our older workers, give them a substantial injection of new skills so that they can stay competitive and relevant.
Mr. Wong also assured Singaporeans that as long as they contribute to CPF from young, there should be enough protection for them when it comes to their retirement.
Meantime, Manpower Minister Tan See Leng says the government will continue to review and update CPF schemes such as MediSave and MediShield Life. For instance, by updating claim limits and premiums. This, he says, is to ensure that the schemes can continue to help Singaporeans cope with rising healthcare costs.
As we see the increasing disease burden, we are also seeing newer modalities of medical treatment coming on stream. Whether it is the new gene therapy drugs, whether it's the new immunotherapy drugs for the treatment of cancer, there will always be these new advances and so on. So, in that sense itself, no one can look into a crystal ball and say, we know for certain that as the development goes up, costs will rise. But at the same time, We are also trying to see how we can work with the insurance companies, work with the different payers, the hospitals, the operators, to see how we can manage the gradient of that rise.